I used to think if you weren't born with a fast metabolism, then you were stuck with a slow one forever. After losing 70 pounds, I realized I was making a massive mistake with weight loss. And once I had this aha moment, everything changed for me. So in this video, I'm gonna tell you exactly why you are stuck and 3 simple solutions that are gonna get you the results that you deserve. Because intermittent fasting is not your fix. You don't need to be doing endless amounts of cardio, and your metabolism is not broken. I realized all of this once I had that aha moment that changed everything for me several years ago. But first, let me take you back to when I was fat. I had a serious problem with overeating and snacking. It was the 2 biggest things that were holding me back from losing weight. I'm not joking when I say this. I would come home and eat an entire bag of chips. I know exactly what it was. It'd be either a family-sized bag of barbecue Lay's chips, which was my favorite, or it would be the ruffled Lay's chips, and they'd be the cheddar version. Or I would grab a snack out of the cupboard, which might be a whole thing of Ritz crackers, and I would eat all 4 of the packets of those. Or I would eat 2 to 3 plates of dinner and still want to snack later in the night. But then something clicked and changed for me entirely. Once I started dating my fiance now, I'd wondered, I'm like, how can she eat whatever she wants and as much as she wants and not struggle with losing weight? It made no sense to me because my entire life, I couldn't eat whatever I wanted and I couldn't eat however much I wanted because otherwise I had gained a bunch of weight. But then one day it all made sense. Since I started paying attention to my eating habits, I also started paying attention to everyone else's eating habits, which inherently, since I saw hers all the time, it all clicked. She would grab a box of crackers. She would take 1 cracker out of the box. She'd take a bite and she would eat half of it. She would then put the cracker down, take a drink of water, go back to doing something that she needed to be doing, and then maybe about a minute later, 30 seconds later, she'd have the rest of it. She would then proceed to drink her water again, grab another cracker, and this process repeated. So she would have about like 20 crackers in like 20 minutes. To me, that was not a flipping option. In that moment, I realized you don't have a metabolism problem, you have an eating habits problem. And what I once thought like, oh, you were born with a slow metabolism, some people just have faster metabolisms, and as you age, your metabolism starts to slow down, I realized this was all just wrong, and this wasn't really necessarily the case. Because in fact, science even shows us now that after the age of about like 20 years old, your metabolism stays roughly the same. If anything, it barely decreases as you age. But here's what's fucking awesome about all of this. What you once thought you couldn't control, you now actually have the ability to control it. So here we are, I'm included here, sitting here blaming my metabolism is just slow, I'm always gonna be the chubby person, when in reality, we're putting blame on something that's not even in our control, and in reality, the real problem is the eating habits, and you do have the ability to control that. And here's how you're going to do it with these 3 simple solutions. Solution number 1, watch the commercial method. When you sit down to eat dinner, most people are gonna sit here and tell you, oh, just don't eat anymore, or start eating slow, or just have discipline and don't go back for that second plate. These sound great in theory, but I know for me, when I struggled with losing weight, it's hard to be in that moment and be like, oh, I'm just not gonna have the second plate. So I came up with a method that has worked so well for me, like literally probably 95% of the time, and I want you to try this out. Literally, once I changed this, my calorie consumption at dinner probably dropped by about 40%. That's literally almost half the amount of calories. And it's very simple. All I want you to do is this. When you sit down to have your plate of dinner, number 1, make sure it's not a massive size plate. Make it a normal serving size. Sit down and eat your dinner while you're watching your show. Once you finish, I want you to wait until the next commercial before you go grab a second plate. Now, even before then, I want you to just be drinking a bunch of water during that time. Don't need to be chugging it, but just drink a bunch of water before that next commercial. Now, obviously, if the commercial is in like the next minute, wait until the following commercial after that. And then let yourself go have that second plate. Now, when you go up for this food, grab about half a serving. You don't need the whole serving. If you really want more later on, just tell yourself you can have more later on once you repeat this method. So it's simple. What you're gonna do, you have your plate, you sit down, eat it. From there, you're gonna wait till the next commercial, drink water, and then go grab more food. But here's what's cool that you're gonna notice is gonna start happening. What I used to do is I'd have a big plate of food, I would eat it fast, and then once I was done with it, I'd just go get another plate, a big plate of food, and I'd eat it fast again. But once you're gonna start noticing is, if you force yourself to have time to sit there, you are not gonna be as hungry later on because you're giving your body time to feel full. Your stomach needs time to feel full. Not only that as well, but your body, when you drink water, also has feelings of fullness. So you are including more volume into your stomach when you add more water too. So what you're gonna start noticing is it's gonna force you to be slow with your eating. You're not sitting here being disciplined and restricting a diet completely. You're letting yourself have a little bit if you really want it. And then a lot of times you're gonna start noticing is once you have that plate, you probably won't even finish all the food because you've given your body time to feel full. People eat way too fast, don't give their body time to feel full. They stuff themselves, and then all of a sudden they just randomly start feeling super stuffed. They feel bloated because it hits them all at once. It's kind of like drinking fast or taking a bunch of shots, and then all of a sudden, bang, it hits you all at once. It will come out of nowhere. I know I've been there before. Now, this helped at dinner, but I still had a problem. I'd find myself mindlessly snacking throughout the day until I changed this one simple thing. Solution number 2, put the bag away. Most people will sit here and say, just don't buy those snacks, don't put them in your house. And although they can be temporary fixes, they don't address the real issue of snacking and overeating. You're basically just saying, I'm just gonna get rid of it and I'm never gonna even worry about fixing that problem. It's kind of like getting in a fight in a toxic relationship. You have a problem and then you just figure it out later. You act like nothing happened, but then it's bound to come up again and it's gonna probably be even a bigger problem. You are going to have days, vacations, social events, things where you are going to have snacks around. You need to learn how to manage these snacks, and doing something as simple as what I'm about to tell you is going to help a lot with this. All I want you to do is take that box or bag of something, and what you are going to do is you are going to get a food scale and you're going to get a bowl. You are going to weigh out one serving size. You're going to look at the back of the label on that food and you're going to weigh out a serving size. Or what I want you to start doing is you're just gonna buy individual little bags of chips or whatever snack you want. Why? Because this forces you to only eat this amount. And now, let's say when you finish this bag, you have to make a conscious decision of going for another one, where most people are gonna have a big bag like myself and I get like 2/3 of the way through and I say, screw it, I'm just gonna finish the rest. I don't make that much or that good of a conscious decision. It is a lot harder to now open another bag and not feel guilty from this than if you were to take a massive bag of barbecue Lay's chips and you just sit there mindlessly eating. It is much easier when you have a limited amount and then you're able to control that amount, and then now you have to make a conscious decision. Do I want more? You're probably not going to go for another bag. Because let's be honest, this snack is not your issue. You're having an issue with controlling a portion size. The amount that you're eating is the real problem, not the actual snack. Because one little piece of chocolate is not that many calories. Controlling portion sizes was crucial to me to lose 70 pounds. But once you do this next fix, you're gonna start realizing that speed is another one of your massive problems. Solution number 3, drink water between each bite. Do something simple for me today. You don't have to change anything, but do something simple. The next time you go to eat, I just want you to pay attention to your eating habits. I guarantee, as long as you're someone like me who's 70 pounds overweight, I guarantee you eat really fast. I guarantee you aren't even paying attention to what you are doing. I guarantee you go grab that second plate and don't give yourself any time. You are shoveling food into your mouth and giving yourself no time to sit and chew the dang food, no time to breathe. You're sitting there consuming way faster than you really think because speed may be one of your problems. So seriously, next time you eat, pay attention to the speed at which you eat. But you gotta listen to this. I had another massive aha moment when we started going out to like fancier restaurants. So growing up, I never went to one fancy restaurant. To me, a fancy restaurant growing up was like an Olive Garden, a Red Lobster, or going to some sort of chain food restaurant. Now, when we moved to Boston for a short period of our life, there was a lot of really good food around us. And we started going to a couple fancy restaurants where we would go on like a date night or something. Like, I'm not joking you. I would look at the dang menu. And when I looked at that menu, I didn't know a single food on that menu. I literally nowadays, I just gotta take a picture and ChatGPT it. These are the type of restaurants that are so fancy that I gotta dress up and I hate dressing up. And like I said, I don't even know what the food actually is. At these restaurants, they tend to course meals. And you look at these plates at these fancy restaurants, there's not as much food on these plates, but I don't think that's the real reason that people don't overeat there. When you go to a really nice restaurant like this, food tends to be coursed, and since you're at a nice place, you just tend to take your time more. So you may have a small plate of like some sort of appetizer that comes out You sit there, you eat it, and then you have some time in between. You're sitting there having your drink, you're having your water, and then it takes a little bit before maybe the next course comes out, and maybe it's another smaller plate, because these types of places have smaller plates. And then you may have another one later that comes out. You start to notice that these are coursed out, that they take time for the next plate. And what was really cool for me and a big aha moment was that I realized I got way more full at these places in a comfortable fullness, not the type of fullness where you go to flipping Texas Roadhouse and you're stuffed by the time that you're done, but the kind of fullness where like you're content, you're happy, you don't need to eat more because things were spaced out. I ate within like an hour and a half time gap instead of eating quickly at like a Texas Roadhouse for 30 minutes and just stuffing my face full. Because now I gave my body time to feel full, which is one of the biggest problems you're having. Now, don't get me wrong. I freaking love going to a Texas Roadhouse, and I love the butter, I love the rolls, but noticing these things are going to be crucial for you. So this is what I want you to do. The next time that you eat, I want you to drink a little bit of water. Don't even be chugging it. Drink a little bit between every single bite, because what's going to happen is probably going to shock you. Your eating is going to be slowed down by like 50%. You're going to be giving your stomach time to feel full. Send a signal to your brain saying, dude, quit freaking eating, you're full. But the water that you drink is also going to help with feelings of fullness. Think about your stomach like a balloon. When you put food into this stomach, it starts to expand. Now, when you add water on top of this, it does the same thing. So now when you add both of them, it helps your stomach expand and have feelings of fullness, which sends a signal to your brain saying, dude, quit eating. So taking a drink between every single bite is going to help so much with your overeating problem. If you want the full system and not just the tips, I've made a whole free mini course on how I've lost 70 pounds and fixed my eating habits long term. Shows you exactly how to apply this in real life, so you're not just trying harder each week. Completely free. Click the link in the description. Fixing your eating habits and stopping yourself from overeating is only one piece of the puzzle. If you don't create daily habits that will stick for the long term, then weight loss is going to be on hard mode. So if you want to learn daily habits that help me lose 70 pounds, then I'd recommend that you watch this video here.